Hi guys, this is James and AD from basketballnoise.com, and like everyone else at the moment, we are watching The Last Dance. Everyone's engrossed in it, and it also means that everyone is wanting a Jordan jersey. But we need an expert to talk us through what Jordan jerseys you've got, and AD is our Jordan expert. So, AD, what jerseys can I get at the moment?
Right, James. If you're looking for a Jordan jersey at the moment, you got two choices. You can either buy Mitchell&Ness Authentic, or you can start looking for a vintage jersey. So we've got a few examples here that I'll take you through, and I'll point out some of the key differences between them. And then, it's up to you. Whatever fits the bill, you can go and make that choice. So the first option, the easiest option, but also the most expensive option, is a Mitchell&Ness Authentic jersey. So Mitchell&Ness have had the rights to reproduce Jordan jerseys for a few years now. They only do Jordan in their Authentic range, which is their most expensive jerseys. I've got one right here.
Nice.
So as you can see, all the Mitchell&Ness jerseys have a drop tag at the bottom saying the year that it was worn, the player name. It's got the hardwood classics with the Authentic in the middle, Mitchell&Ness, and the size. As you can see, this is from the 1996-97 playoffs. I know it's from the playoffs because it's got the finals patch on the top. This is actually from the finals. 96-97 was also the 50th year of the NBA, so they all had gold NBA logos on the side there. You can see this is all embroidered in there, so it's really high quality. The Bulls logo on the front, all embroidered, all fully stitched. Same with the numbers. Got the back here. It's again fully embroidered jersey, all stitched, quality workmanship. It's really, the thing that really stands out when you have one of these in hand is how heavy it is. It feels like a proper heavy jersey, which is great. You can feel the quality on it. These are remade to the exact specifications of the ones that were worn on the court. So depending on which ones you get, some of them are some of the earlier Jordan jerseys, like the rookie jersey, are screen printed. But this one in this season, it was all stitched. So this jersey is stitched. Thing about Mitchell&Ness jerseys, they are expensive. So this one will set you back about £200. Bit of a stock issue at the moment in the marketplace, so they are a little bit more difficult to come by. You can buy them on the Mitchell&Ness website, and you can also buy them on NBAAll-Star in Europe. If you do buy it on NBAAll-Star Europe, we can give you a little bit of an assist there because we've got a discount code. So put Basketball Noise in the checkout and you get 10% extra off. But generally, these are top quality products. You know when it's a Mitchell&Ness product because of the tags as well. So Mitchell&Ness products have two tags that come with it. The first one's the Mitchell&Ness tag. It's got a safety pin at the top and it comes on a piece of string. It has the stamp telling you it's an authentic jersey there. And there's a second tag, the Hardwood Classics logo. It's got the NBA hologram on there, and it's got NBAAll-Star written on the back there. So that's how you can tell that it's an authentic jersey from Mitchell&Ness. Unfortunately, they are expensive. If you're looking at these on eBay or Depop or any of the secondary seller sites, just always be aware that, if it looks too good to be true, probably is. These are going to set you back a pretty penny. Any questions on the Mitchell&Ness, James?
So like my main thing is sort of like about care. So like, how would you wash them? Are they can you just shove them in a washing machine? Can you put them in a tumble dryer, or is it all like hand wash only? Or
so the instructions in the tag say cold wash only. So you can put them in the washing machine. On my washing machine, I've got a delicate setting. So I actually put mine on a cold wash on the delicate setting. It is like the most nerve-wracking experience putting one of these in the washing machine, because I have had other Mitchell&Ness products that hasn't come out of the machine in great shape. So sometimes I do hand wash them if I've got a lot of time. At the moment, it's not a problem, got all the time in the world. So I do hand wash them. But they stand up well. They're good pieces of kit. They're well put together. So yeah, it can be nervy though, putting them in the washing machine for the first time. You don't want to mess one of these up.
And so also you talked about the NBA playoffs logo. Does that change, or is it always the same logo every year? So like, if we had a later jersey, would it have a different logo?
Yeah, so the NBA logo patch, the finals patch, has changed a few times throughout the years. So, for example, last year when it was the Raptors versus the Warriors in the final, the patch was actually on the back of the jersey, and it was sort of heat pressed on there. This is from that 96-97 year. So these do change, and there's different jerseys that have got different features on them. So, this is actually the same jersey that Jordan wore in the flu game, infamous game against the Utah Jazz. And that's why it really appealed to me, along with some other aspects of it, such as the 50th anniversary. But there's loads of versions of these Mitchell&Ness jerseys out there, all celebrating different years and different sort of milestones in Jordan's career. You just have to search a little bit harder for some of them because, like I said, some of the main sites at the moment are a bit low on stock. For example, Beeston in Germany's got quite a good selection of stock at the moment, so it's worth checking out there if there's something in particular you want. NBA Store has got them as well, and anyone in the US, NBA Store US has got quite a decent selection of them as well at the moment, and the Mitchell&Ness Store themselves just had a bit of more stock come in.
Cool. And so, what other jerseys has Jordan, like the Jordan range, got? Which he wore over his career.
So there's all sorts of Jordan jerseys. That's the road jersey in the sort of iconic red colorway. You can go for the alternate in the black. There's the black pinstripe jersey, which is very popular. The rookie jersey with the Chicago script in a more expressive cursive font on the front there. There's obviously the very popular home whites Jordan jerseys, and then there's various jerseys for different other different areas of his career. So, for example, we've got the 45 jersey as well in the Mitchell&Ness.
Yeah.
So this is when he first came back from retirement. Obviously, a short-lived number here, but got a few pairs of the Jordan 11s to match with this, so I wanted the 45. There's also a little bit different seen on Drake. It's the gold jersey. Never actually played on this, so this is classed as a premium authentic. Never played in gold, you might know, but just something a little bit different. You can also get the Mitchell&Ness 12 jersey. So, little known fact, Jordan played one game in number 12 when his jersey was stolen from the kit bag. And you can get the Mitchell&Ness version of that as well with no name on the back. A little bit low key. Someone's a real fan if they spot that one and know. If they give you that nod when you're wearing that 12, they're a real baller.
And also, I think in our previous discussions that say there was like a Bulls jersey for sale, you can't put in Jordan and 23 on the back, can you? It's like trademarked.
So at the moment, if you go onto NBA Store, for example, and they've got a personalization function, or if you go to NBA Store in New York, they won't allow you to put Jordan 23 on the back of a Nike current Swingman jersey, just because of the sort of the trademarks around it and who's got those rights. I'm not entirely sure on the legal standing of it, but I know that if you go on the store, you can't actually get it to work. So,
yeah, cool. And so, what other jerseys? I think you said there were 3 jerseys. So we've had the first jersey. Like, what's the other 2 jerseys that you mentioned?
So the other option that you've got at the moment, if you can't quite see yourself stretch into a Mitchell&Ness jersey because they are so expensive, is you can buy a vintage jersey. So of course there's all the usual places where you can buy vintage jerseys. Go on eBay, go on Depop. There's a load of great sellers on Instagram at the moment, so you can have a little root around on there. And what we always say, if you're buying a vintage jersey, make sure you check the reviews of the seller. Make sure they've got good feedback if they're on eBay. Make sure it's not their only sale that they ever made, and then check the details on the jersey as well. So there's 2 sort of jerseys at the moment that are really common on eBay and on these vintage seller sites, and that's the Champion jerseys from when Jordan was playing. So Champion produced two types of jerseys really. So if you're in Europe like we are, you might be aware of the Euro Cup Champion jersey. So I've got a Jordan one of those here. So these might be familiar to a lot of people from the like an early 90s childhood point of view. So these jerseys were what it's called is sublimated. So this means that the actual logos, the names, and numbers are actually in the jersey themselves. They're part of the jersey. They're part of the twill there, as you can see. What you get is the jock tag with the sort of famous Champion logo. It takes a little more to make a Champion. And you've also got the sort of the stitched on embroidered Champion logo and the NBA logo on the side there. So this is the sort of Euro Cup jersey. There's some benefits and some disadvantages with these compared to the US version. I suppose the biggest sort of benefit to these jerseys, they're very hard wearing. So because they are sublimated in, this is an older jersey. This is from when Jordan was playing. It's from 96, 97 itself. So it's got a couple of years on it there. It still stands up really well. You can buy these on eBay and on those vintage sites in really good condition. The one thing to be careful of is, these jerseys had a tendency to pull and bobble. So if they were washed too many times, or if you get caught on like a fingernail or something, you can get a bit of a pull on it, and it can pull across the whole jersey, pull out a string, so to speak. Kind of like, I don't know if you remember the old Premier League goalie jerseys, which were kind of padded, and they were sort of like infamous for bobbling really and getting pulls all over them. You can get some of these Champion jerseys that have that issue on them. But generally, you can get some really good quality jerseys out there. The sizing as well, because the Euro fit, can be a little bit off as well. So I'd say if you're looking for one of these, potentially size up a little bit. So I usually take a large in a Nike jersey. Now I'd take an XL in the Champion. I've got a few in double XL as well because I like them quite baggy to play in. I always thought I was going to grow a little bit taller as well. Never really happened, unfortunately. But yeah, I'd say size up a little bit in these as well, because these are Euro fit as well. The sizing is in your standard sort of small to XL or double XL as well. If you're looking at the shorts on these, the shorts in particular on the Euro fit Champion product is way off. The double XL shorts are really short shorts, but with a really low crotch. So I don't know who the sort of model fit was for them, but they can be quite humorous if you ever come across any of them. But the Champion Eurofit shorts are actually really nice. They're like sort of double layered, really thick shorts, really cool. So that's the Eurofit version. And the other one that you might see on eBay and on these vintage sites quite a lot is the actual US version. So again, if you're a child of the 90s, this is the jersey that you wanted one from the US, but you had to go to your local Foot Locker or whatever to buy one instead. The US one's a little bit different. The material, definitely a little bit thinner. It's sort of a nylon material. It's really sort of thin. You almost see through it a lot more. The jock tag's a little bit different. Still got takes a little bit more to make a Champion. But as you can see there, this is a 40 rather than small, medium, large. So the sizing's different on these. Biggest difference, other than the material, is the print. So these jerseys are all screen printed. So I don't know if you can see that, but this is sort of like printed onto the jersey.
Yeah, it's almost like vinyl, isn't it? Yeah.
One of the things that's different about these as well is the shoulder straps are a lot thinner than they are on the EU version. So if you look at the EU version there, you can put the US one behind it and you sort of see how much thicker that US one is. It's much more like a vest, these ones. And what you sometimes find, especially on the smaller jerseys, is that the printing of the names can be very far down the jersey. So it's not always quite, if you look at that, sometimes on the Euro jerseys, a little bit higher, a little bit closer to the neck there. whereas the US jersey is a lot lower down there. It can be, and that's because of the thinness of the vest straps at the top there. So it can, on the smaller jerseys in particular, these names and numbers can be really far down the jersey, which can look a little bit odd. I've got a Penny Hardaway jersey from when I was my first ever jersey from when I was like 13, and like the numbers are like halfway down the jersey. It looks really strange now.
Yeah.
The thing to watch out with these jerseys, if you're buying them second hand, is that often this printing can fade a lot if they've been washed a lot. This can sort of come off in the wash. So make sure you ask for front and back pictures so you can get a good view of what it actually looks like, and that you're not missing any letters or numbers anywhere. But different sort of style, again, got its benefits. It sort of, to a lot of people, these are sort of more, not authentic, but like more the real deal, because these are the ones that they got in the States. These are the ones that when you went on holiday, or you know, someone you knew went to Orlando, these are the ones that you're praying someone brought back for you. These are the most common ones that you find on the vintage sites over here. Unfortunately, you know, the chances of walking into a charity shop or a thrift shop in Europe and finding one of these are really, really low. It might happen in the US. I doubt it even happens over there that much now. But you're not going to pick up one of these like at a crazy cheap price. They still got quite a lot of value to them, obviously, with the Last Dance being on TV now and everyone being obsessed with Jordan, rightly so. You know, the price has gone up a little bit, so you're still looking at sort of a good vintage jersey around the £60 mark. Could be a little bit more expensive if it's you know, of a better quality or a rarer jersey. Seen them go up to 120 on some of these bidding sites. So you know, still quite expensive. The other thing on is there is obviously a load of different types of jerseys. These are just the two most popular ones. So loads of really great resources out there for if you're looking at some of these vintage jerseys. If you're a real collector, you're looking for sort of the authentic champion, or the Nike jerseys that Jordan wore later in his career. The sand knit champion jerseys, particularly popular with collectors. But again, they sort of go for top dollar and are definitely harder to come by in Europe. So yeah, they're the two most popular champion jerseys really that you'll find out and about.
Yeah, I think the key message through all of that was that, you know, you get what you pay for. If it's too good to be true, then it's going to be a little bit dodgy, shall we say? And
No, definitely.
there is a website in another part of the world called wish.com, which I decided to buy a Jordan jersey from. So this cost me $18, which is about £12. And so basically, I was going to go through it now with 80, so he can highlight to me that it's a fake. So we all know this is 100% fake before we get going. But what's the key sign that this is a fake jersey?
So I think when you're holding it, what's the quality feel like?
So this is like mesh, but it's not like the mesh jerseys that I've got, which are authentic. It's very, the material, I know I'm probably going to have a rash by the end of it if I wear it all day on bare skin. Yeah, it hasn't even got what material it is. There's not even a label which says what material it is. So do you have like that label in your jerseys which says what the material is?
Yeah, definitely. So the Mitchell&Ness ones are sort of like 100% polyester. On the one that I've got, on the champion ones, this champion one's actually been washed so many times that it's looking pretty. Can't even read it. There's nothing there. 100% nylon. I think, or polyester. I can't read it. It's gone. Yeah, to not have any sort of care instructions or material sort of label in there is a sort of a red flag. The Bulls logo on the front looks a little bit off to me. The wording on there, the B looks a bit too big. Just from my view here, looks a little bit off. Nike tick looks a bit too small. I'm pretty sure at that time you couldn't buy them with the Nike tick on the jersey like that. It looks very small, that Nike tick. Doesn't quite look right. Looks the swoosh at the back end looks a bit too thin. You can see on the back, you got the Bulls logo on the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Which is not a feature on any of the game jerseys. That Bulls logo as well looks a little bit off as well.
Yeah.
Not quite right. The lettering on the back looks a bit off. Should have the black inlay in there, I think. It all just looks a little bit off, doesn't it? I think you're saying the stitching under the arms as well is a little bit off.
Yeah, so like just the stitching, even on this bit might be a bit hard for the camera, but like there's just stitching loose, like sloppy like that. But I think the key giveaway here is on the neck. This is where they've stitched it together, and it's just the lines don't even meet up neatly, whereas I think on an authentic jersey, it does meet up neatly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on the authentic jerseys, anywhere where there's sort of stitching, it's sort of perfectly aligned there, as you can see. Done a really good job on the sort of quality control there. It's just really well made, really well put together. So I think, like as you said, and our advice always is on these vintage jerseys, on the vintage and on the new ones, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is, unfortunately. Anyone that's selling NBA jerseys for around £20, it's not going to be a licensed product. It's not going to be, a real product. It might be really, really close, but they're going to cut corners to get it down to that price. It's unfortunate, really, because we would love to fill the closet full of Jordan jerseys at £20 a pop. Yeah. How long did it take to arrive as well?
It was a good month, if not longer. So it took some time. I did order it last year, and I did get it last year, but I haven't really looked at it so far. But I just like I might wear it on holiday if I want to get it trashed. But I've just actually noticed. I don't know if this is a feature, but the back is actually significantly longer than the front.
Yeah, so the Jordan jerseys, a lot of them, the US ones, did that. It shouldn't be significantly longer.
It's almost double.
Depends on the cut.
It's almost
that
double
looks a little bit off.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think if you go into an event, like one of those paint parties where you want a jersey and you don't mind if it gets wrecked, this is perfect. But yeah, if I'm with my basketball peers, I'm just going to get cut down to pieces. But no, so I think that's a real good in-depth analysis of how what jerseys to look out for. Just one question though with your vintage, because this always, when it comes to vintage gear, I'm just a bit, I don't know, there's something about it. I like the new, fresh, out the bag. Like, do you have any like routines you do with vintage gear? Maybe to like, when you first get it, do you wash it, or are you trying to preserve it, or do you use Febreze or something like that? Or
it depends. I mean, I've been really lucky in all this sort of vintage stuff that I've bought. It's always come in really good condition. It's always smelled like washed and new. But stick it in the washing machine. They're like old pieces. They're not going to fall apart. It's better to reuse than throw everything into waste. Let's keep it green. Jordan was the most popular player in the NBA for a good 10 years. Top selling jersey. There's enough of these jerseys around. There's loads of them out there. They sold millions of Jordan jerseys, and then Nike and Brand Jordan have done a ton of Jordan releases through the years as well. So if the Bulls aren't your team and you want something a little bit different, there is some other options. I do have some other sort of Jordan jerseys out there. So I've got the Laney High from when he was in high school. Obviously the very famous Space Jam with Jordan on the back.
nice.
There's the Dream Team jerseys. This is not Dream Team, this is USA. This is from the LA Olympics when he played for Bobby Knight. But there's a Dream Team jerseys as well out there. There's enough Jordan jerseys out there for everyone. I'd say don't get hung up on the vintage aspects of it. It's pre-loved, not pre-used. And it's better to keep these things in circulation rather than sending a load of jerseys to landfill all the time. Loads of these jerseys got plenty of life left in them. So yeah, it's fun as well digging around and like looking on these sites, looking for Instagram, looking through eBay and finding a real gem. And once you get it, you know, it's sort of happy days really.
Yeah, and I'd say like if you're unsure, then you can always hit us up on Twitter. You know, the basketball noise Twitter account, and you know, I'm sure we can give some input as to whether it's authentic or not, and
Yeah,
just give some guidance.
we've written this all up on the website as well. So I've written an article on this, with some pictures in there. If there's any details you want to check, so check that up out on the website as well. Yeah, and hit us up if you've got any questions.
Yeah, I think the most important thing anyone can do if they've got to the end of this video is make sure they smash that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and give us a like, because basically we're just going to try and get past this YouTube algorithm and, you know, help the ballers out. That's what it's all about. So I hope you found this useful. We're going to have more videos like this, and make sure you subscribe to that channel.